Yeah, boy.
Get a.
Okay. Oh. Should we tell what we're drinking?
Yeah, this is kind of strange.
It's Cutwater Tequila Paloma. I have no idea what any of that means, but we're both drinking them. And would you say this is good?
It's all right.
It's kind of strong. You can definitely taste the alcohol. I feel like you shouldn't be able to taste, like, are you supposed to be able to taste tequila?
I don't think so.
And what is a Cutwater? Like, they cut the water out of it. Like, what does that mean?
Sounds like a place.
Oh. What? Where?
I have no idea.
Cutwater Spirits. It's a brand. It's not even a place. Maybe it is a place, but San Diego, California. Our clickbaity title is gonna be.
Do you have an idea?
Couple reads Piranesi. I don't know what our clickbait
let's start
title
off
is.
right off the bat. How do you pronounce this? Because you always said Piranesi, but then the audiobook says Piranesi.
Well, the guy mispronounces a lot of things in the audiobook.
Really?
He mispronounces Minotaur.
Really? What does he say?
I believe he says Minotaur. He says Minotaur, and I always thought it was Minotaur. So some kind of, Greek mythology nerd, please correct me. But I think he was mispronouncing different words in the audiobook.
You could be right. He was a good narrator, though.
He was a good narrator, but I do notice that when the narrator doesn't know how to say the word, or maybe I'm just ignorant on this. I don't know. Okay, so concentrate on...
Sorry.
On the book.
The audio is pissing me off.
Is it still doing it? Don't care. We're in this bitch. Okay, so we need to decide if we're saying Piranesi or what did you say?
Piranesi.
Piranesi? This whole time I thought it was Piranesi. I know he was saying Piranesi. Who really cares?
Okay, fine. My bad.
I say it Piranesi. Do you say it Piranesi?
I think so.
Okay. Pronounce it.
Just because that's how I heard it when I was listening to it.
Pronounce it your way and I'll pronounce it my way.
Okay.
Okay, the point is, we're talking about this book. And it's okay, let's start off. Did we like the book? 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Yes, it's a great book.
Yeah.
I feel like I had a lot of people recommend it to me, or maybe I just saw a lot of people. I feel like it's very highly regarded in online book spaces, and I'm proud to say that this was actually a good one, because a lot of times I don't agree with the popular opinion, but it was very good. It's kind of if you guys don't know what it is, it's like I would say sort of a fantasy type mystery deal. At least it appears to be at the beginning. Yeah, fantasy and mystery. I see why people classify it as fantasy, but is it really
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like science fiction, honestly.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that tag too. So
yeah,
I would
say science fiction more than fantasy, because it's like
it's not really fantastical creatures.
And the Lawrence Sales, he was all scientific about it. I feel like, or at least he tried to be, claimed to be, or something.
Yeah, there was a lot of commentary, I feel like, on science and progress and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, which doesn't make it science fiction, but I'm just saying. But
they were supposed the forefront of didn't say outsider ideas and shit
transgressive thinkers. Transgressive thinkers, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought was quite funny, when they listed a lot of the academic papers, there was a Doctor Who reference in there, and I was like, this writer's a nerd, just saying. and then also one of the titles of the papers was fan fiction, or maybe there was an entry or something, and I was like, hell yeah.
In the index, one of the things was fan fiction.
Yeah. And I was like, yes. This writer's a nerd. I knew it.
Also, something I noticed when I was reading this or listening the second time was he has a dream about the Minotaur, and it's talking to a little girl in a forest or something like that. And it's
and what was that?
That's the Narnia.
Yeah, I saw some people online being like, "There's a bunch of C.S. Lewis references too," and I was like, "What? There is?"
And he's got a quote. The first line is a quote from C.S. Lewis.
Was it? I don't
Or like
remember. I don't remember what the beginning was.
Opening line or quote or whatever.
The like, oh shit, what do you call those?
Yeah.
There's a name for those.
Really?
Damn it, this is gonna bother me. You guys know what it is. The opening quote in like books.
Put it in the comments below.
No, don't.
While you're down there, like and subscribe.
I don't have that kind of audience.
Smash that like button.
I have the kind of audience that you either subscribe or you don't, and I don't tell you to. You were simply drawn or you were simply repelled. It's all up to you. I don't feel like a bunch of fucking autistics are gonna want to be told to subscribe. That's just me though. I fucking hate that shit. Like before they even show you that they have anything of value to say, they're like, subscribe, and I'm like, I don't even know you. Like I don't know you like that. Yeah. And I hate it so much. I feel like that's like the most neurotypical thing you can do is like be like, subscribe to me, and it's like, who are you? Like, what value do you bring? I haven't even seen your video yet. Like, exposing myself as a hater. You can't be looking at that. Look at them. Oh, hi guys. Hi. What? Hi. Okay, we're gonna be serious. Okay, what do you want to talk? What do you want to talk about in this book?
Man, okay, for me, like, I don't know. I feel like I got rambles on rambles about this shit.
Really?
Bro.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
Could go for hours.
Go
so
ahead.
I gotta, like,
for hours.
I gotta like slow myself down, bro. I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know, man.
What do you got to say?
Well, I feel like it's a metaphor, bro.
Okay.
Like there's some
Yeah.
metaphorical shit going on, and like I wouldn't call it like an allegory because it's not like direct.
You're creaking.
Sorry.
Continue.
It's not like direct metaphors. There's like different parts that don't line up with a metaphor. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So what?
But they're different metaphors. But like the one that stood out to me, the one that like spoke to me, I felt like was like I feel like it's a metaphor. I don't know if this is what intended, but it's like growing up in a religious sheltered household.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
And it's like, yeah.
Because he's very like innocent and
yeah.
doesn't know a whole lot. And by he, I obviously mean the main character. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. But yeah, I can see that. Okay.
Yeah,
and then what are some of the other ones that you think?
I mean, I think like just abuse in general.
I can see that at certain parts. Yeah.
And also like it's like or like especially like abusive childhood. I feel like because you're like, it's like he doesn't know any better. He doesn't know that the other is not his friend. He thinks the other is being kind to him when he gives him shoes. When the other should have given him shoes every year to make sure he should have replenished his clothes. You know, he should have been taking care of him.
Yeah.
He should have not trapped him in this place. You know,
didn't even notice that he didn't have shoes.
Exactly. Like, yeah, he's not, he doesn't give a shit about him. Like he does not give a shit. It's like it's even like what like we always say like people have babies to like try to fulfill their purpose
their
in life.
Unmet needs.
Yeah,
and stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like that because the other was like too scared to go explore, but he wanted to know about the house, but he was too scared and too stupid to go explore, so he fucking trapped Piranesi in this world to do his research for him and shit.
Yeah, which is obviously like cowardly and shit. Like,
yeah,
that's really confusing to me because if you were really like dedicated to science or whatever, like, it's okay, but think about like, okay, humanity. Granted, this is not a person, but we send out like rovers and shit to Mars because doing a Mars mission would be like extremely like dangerous and shit, right? Or can you even survive in the atmosphere? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So if you think about it, Piranesi was kind of his like Mars rover. he's rolling around, right, collecting data and shit.
Or like the monkey they send in this rocket before they send a human or some shit.
It could be like a monkey, but yeah, I feel like that's it's not the same because like a Mars rover isn't alive, but they do just kind of like die out up there once like their solar panels like are covered by dust and shit. They just like stop rolling and then they're just stuck there, like which is really sad. Or maybe that's just me. I'm like, oh, the Mars rover just like petered out and now he just sits there and but he did his job so well.
Imagine they put AI in one of those and then it's like sentient and it's just sitting up there lonely.
Someone needs to write that. That's
Wally.
Wally
is cleaning up trash.
Wally, I was gonna say, is Wally a Mars rover? I don't think he is. Like, yeah, pretty much Wally. Wally is sad. I cry a little. I don't remember, but the openings of those those fucking Pixar movies, like, they just be tearjerkers for no reason. Like, Up, the beginning of Up, oh my god, that shit's so sad. The old man, he, like, yeah, that shit's so sad. His wife dies, like, hell no. They just be going in hard in the first, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Emotional damage, or whatever the little meme is.
Emotional damage!
And they used to have that fucking, like, intro, like a skit before the movie, you know?
Oh, like the shorts?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like we're getting off topic.
Extremely.
Bring it back. Bring it back. Wrangle it. Rodeo. Lil Nas X in this bitch. Rodeo. Okay, don't cry. Sounds like a creaky rocking chair. Okay, so metaphor for abuse or growing up in religion. Any others?
Well, okay. I want to expand on the religion one because that's like, I feel like that hit me hard, man. It kind of like changed the way I think, because like I was thinking about how like Piranesi is kind of, he's like, oh man, it's so much. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, baby.
I'm trying to explain
What's
this.
the problem?
It's hard.
It's hard. Words, they're so difficult.
All right, it's like spirituality, bro.
Okay.
Like, I feel like often people approach spirituality with the idea, like the way the other approaches the house.
Okay.
He doesn't appreciate for what it is. He expects there to be something more. Some, you know, the lost knowledge or whatever the fuck he calls it.
The ancient wisdom. Or
yeah.
whatever.
He expects there to be some kind of other thing, but Piranesi recognizes that it's just the beauty of the house. It's good enough by itself.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, like for me, I was like, maybe that's just like, I don't know, man. Like, literally, you know me, I'm like atheist as fuck, but I'm like, spirituality maybe is just, that's good enough. Like, just being spiritual and like just being, I don't know, man. I'm sounding cheesy as fuck.
I think you can be atheist and spiritual. Atheist just means you're not worshiping a deity.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're really not. You're just, I feel like you're just, that doesn't mean you don't believe like there's no sort of anything there. I feel like, well, maybe it is. I mean, I feel like militant atheist is a whole different thing. Like, I mean the word atheism in general became, I feel like, associated with like, you know, Richard Dawkins and like other people that jump down your ass about how stupid you are for believing in God, which, you know, I don't think people are stupid, but having grown up in fundamentalist Christianity, I definitely have like very much a bias against it, like that should be taken literally or whatever, because I think when you're taking a piece of literature literally, like, you've completely missed the point, which is it should be read as any other work of literature, in my opinion. But I don't know, like, I feel like you cannot believe in a god or worship a particular religion and still think there's like a spirituality. Like, I still think like the universe like wants certain things to happen, and that like there's a certain way things should go, which I feel like is some type of spirituality, even though it doesn't have like a name.
Yeah, me too.
But
And
you're talking about the two different approaches that they had to the house.
Yeah, and it's like, I feel like I used to think of it like the militant atheist is like the other. That's how they look at it. It's like, you know, if it's not doing something for me, if it's not, you know, making some kind of grand gesture or like, you know, changing the world in some way, then it doesn't mean anything. You know, if you can't pray to God and ask for something and God actually gives it to you, then it just is nothing. Like, it's like, I don't know, just the simple act of praying maybe is just cool by itself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I think it's mostly like a sort of like psychological type deal.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not necessarily that there's any God that's answering you. It's the fact of you like doing the actual prayer that's the I don't know what word to use. Right. But we're gonna offend somebody. Well, actually, people on my channel, I don't think we are. Maybe. Like, if you don't know this by now.
I don't know. I feel like it's like very off topic, but like that's how it like came off for me. Like, that's what made me think of, for some reason. Like, I was just like, after I read it, I started thinking about it for a few days, and that's just like what stood out to me. I don't know.
I just think like Piranesi had more of a survival mentality because he was actually living in the physical environment, which was much different from, you know, the guy that the other that barely like did anything himself or like went anywhere. Like he was there all the time. So he had to adopt whatever mindset would get him to like survive and stuff. Whereas the other was just like, I just want the information. I just want to find what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Anything else other than that, he didn't want to hear him talk about, which was kind of stupid. Like I was like, everything he says, the other just like ignores his ass. Like, I was like, that pissed me off so much. I'm like, he probably just like wants to talk to you because you're the only other person that he knows, and you can't even do that. Like, it's such a low bar. Like,
there are 13 or 15 people in the world. 2 living, 13 dead.
Oh yeah, at the end when he's like telling the police officer, like, she's like, there's 13 other people here, and he like takes forever to tell her that they're all dead. Yeah. I was like, oh my god, like, Piranesi. He just takes taking care of the dead like so seriously and shit that
it's awesome. He
like thinks of them as people. I mean, obviously they were people, but do we ever know who those dead people are? They were the other scholars, right? Like the other guy, the followers of that guy.
Yeah, I'm assuming. I mean, and like there was a monkey in there. That was the fucking monkey that what's his name said could go.
He let the monkey die in there. I didn't even. That didn't even.
Well, he said that the monkey could go whenever he wanted. So I mean, I'm assuming the monkey just went there to live and died or something. I don't know.
That's messed up. He let
couldn't get back. Maybe. I don't know.
That's messed up. He let that monkey die. Well, the people too, obviously, but. Am I prioritizing the monkey?
Dude, also the other guy, James Ritter, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't think about this until I started listening the second time. Is I feel like he was the one who originally put all the bones in order, like the biscuit box man and stuff.
Why do you think that?
Because Piranesi said that when he came upon them, they were already like in the box, and the long ones were tied together, and the small ones were in a box. So who did that? Who put these bones in order?
That's true, because the main guy didn't give a shit about anybody that was in there.
Yeah.
And then the other never goes anywhere in the house, really. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it would have had to be him just by, you know.
Yeah, and he was living there for a long time, and like.
I doubt it was the birds.
Kind of felt the same way about it as Piranesi did, because
at the end he brings the James guy back to the house, and I was like, ooh,
so good, bro.
Why? Because Piranesi is the most pure human being on this earth.
Literally.
And I will fight anybody who tries to hurt him. Because, dude, literally at the end when he's fighting, like, the other, and he just, like, he's like, no, save yourself. Like, go to the boat. I'm like, why are you trying to save him? He's a horrible human being. Like, he can't even hate the people that, like, he legitimately has, like, reason to hate.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, of course he can't kill him, because he can't kill anybody. He just, like, has to watch him, like, get thrown into the statue and shit. I was like, this is so, like, I mean, I love that. I love that he, like, maintained his, like, innocence or whatever. But at the same time, I was like, you should have got that gun, dude. Like, I thought by the end he was gonna, like, learn violence, like, human violence. And he was gonna become, like, that was his loss of innocence, was that he had to learn how to, like, have human violence. Like, in response to, like, being tortured and shit, basically. But he didn't look at his time in the house as, like, being tortured, really.
Yeah, I feel like that's another thing that just, like, is beautiful to me, is, like, he's just looking at the world around him and just enjoying it for the beauty of it, not even caring about why he's here. It's like...
But maybe he just didn't care because he forgot everything.
True.
Like, if he had remembered being, what was the guy's name? Matthew. Yeah. Then maybe he probably would have felt differently. Because, like, when the parts of Matthew were coming through, he was obviously, like, upset and shit.
Yeah, dude.
So I'm like, if he had his full memory, he probably would have been fucking pissed.
So it's like a blessing in disguise that he was actually able to forget, like, his ego, bro. It's like ego death, dude. Ego death. I'm getting hit.
Says the man wearing a mushroom.
Yeah.
Mushroom shirt. Ego death, bro. But yeah, like, okay, so what did you think about him kind of having both in his body? Like, he was Piranesi, and he was also this Matthew guy, and he...
Yeah, that was cool.
And then I feel like he became, like, a third... Like, at the end, he was kind of a third thing that was, like, neither one of them, but, like, kind of both of them.
I am not home. I am here.
Is that what he said? Wow, look at this soliloquy.
Dude, my favorite fucking line in that book was... Man, I almost want to look it up so I don't butcher it.
Oh, dear God. Okay. He has to look it up so he gets it right. There were a lot of good quotes in that.
Perhaps some people can make you see the world. It's people that you respect and like immensely can make you see the world in ways that you wish you'd rather not.
What? Why is that your favorite?
I don't know.
That just seems dark.
Dude, I'm just like, damn, that shit is true as fuck.
This better not be about me.
I mean, sometimes.
How did I know this was a diss, man?
Damn it. Okay, this is getting edited out.
Why is it getting edited out? Come on, baby. Give the people what they want. Give the people real, raw.
Not just you.
Uncut.
I just mean, like, anyone. Like, I don't know. You talk to someone just, like, the way they see the world comes through in their conversation. And sometimes it's just, like, that's a weird way to look at the world. You know? And if you think about it from their point of view, it's like, I don't know. I don't like seeing the world in this light.
Well, of course you only like seeing the world through your own perspective, you dum-dum.
Yeah, true.
Like, what do you mean? That'd be like having someone else's brain forced onto yours.
And I mean, yeah, like sometimes you do have to see the world in a way that you don't want to see if it's actually the way the world is, you know, because like 16, I can't remember her real name. She's
Raphael,
yeah,
the police officer.
Like, she's right. Like, all those people probably were murdered by what's his name. But Piranesi just doesn't want to think about it like that.
What on earth? Bitch! How dare you? Okay, he doesn't want to think about the fact that guy murdered people.
Yeah, because that was the context of the quote, was like, she had, or he's like, I thought about the way that when 16 had suggested that these people had been murdered, it made the whole world seem darker and sadder. And
yeah, the part when she's like trying to tell him that there's like, I don't know, she kind of insulted him because she's like, instead of just like statues of things, there's like actual things. Like, these are just representations of the actual things, and that kind of offended him because obviously all he's known is the statues.
Yeah.
Which, first of all, what do we think about the statues? Like, who the fuck made the statues? Like, were they just there? Like, why would they just be there? But I was thinking somebody did. What?
It's like the cave metaphor.
What do you mean? Like Plato?
No, not that cave. The cave that Lawrence Sales describes.
Lawrence on Sales.
Remember that bit?
The cave under the stairs or some shit like that?
No, he says something like the energy flows out of the world and has to go somewhere, right? You remember that?
Like when they lost, they lost the ancient knowledge or
yeah,
whatever.
That knowledge had to go somewhere.
So that's what you think the statues are?
Well, he said it had to go somewhere, and then it went to this new world, and he said the other is looking for it in this world. He's looking for that knowledge, but it's not here. It's like water in underground flowing through a cave. It carves away the cave, and then a million years from now, you go back and you see the cave, but what you don't see is the water.
So he's saying it's somewhere else now.
Yeah,
it would be
gone.
In a different world.
It flowed through and carved out everything that was there and moved on.
Okay. Because what I thought was weird, the ending of the book, when he's in the park and he recognizes all these people from the statues, I was like, clearly somebody sat in the park and like saw all the people and like made the statues to like they were just like people watching in the park, and then they like made the statues to match the people. And I also had this theory at the beginning of the book that something had happened, kind of like I guess like a Pompeii type thing, where like not like people got like, you know, preserved in ash or whatever, but more like they tried to like come through the other world and they like got stuck, because there was a lot of talk about statues coming out of walls, and so I thought maybe it was like actual people that tried to cross over, but they like got stuck, and then they were there as a statue. But I guess that was proved wrong. I had a lot of theories that were proved wrong, and actually I don't think a single one of them ended up being correct, other than the other is a piece of shit who's in on it, which I said this from the very beginning. I was like, the other is in on it. I'll beat that motherfucker's ass. I will come up there and personally finish him.
Fuck the other.
The other. What a I love how the Lawrence on Sales was like, oh, what a name for that guy. Because he's always second best. Because you're always better than
second
him.
fiddle.
Yep, that shit was sick, and I love how Piranesi was like, "That's a fucking that guy's a prophet. That guy be knowing, okay? That guy be knowing." And also the fact that he was like, "Well, some people can cross over, you know. Some people got to do rituals, and some people just cross like me, just cross over. And even birds can cross over, and a fucking monkey cross over, but the other has to do this fucking ritual, and he's just so like there was so much shade being thrown. Like imagine this guy. First of all, the guy is gay as hell, okay? Like canonically gay as hell. So you know." This motherfucker's like shading him hard. Like
I remember like I didn't notice the first time, but he was looking at Piranesi and being like,
fucking
he was like creeping out. He's like, "You're a fine looking specimen," or something like that.
That's why I thought, okay, I had this other theory that like kind of like the James Ritter guy got trapped. First I was like, maybe Piranesi is James Ritter. But then I was like, okay, maybe this guy is like for some reason he's getting these like prostitutes and shit and like creeping on them and like sending them into this other world to like imprison them, but I thought like maybe he was doing like a cycle of that, and maybe Piranesi was just like the latest one that he had done that to. But I was also like, why would he want to like trap them unless it was like gonna get super dark and he was like, you know, a rapey motherfucker? But then it didn't end up being any of those things. Like I feel like my theories this entire book like kept changing. And I feel like they were like never right. Like I was texting Adam my theories as I was reading, and he was like just laughing at me, probably because they were all wrong, except for my other one. I feel like my other one was on point, but obviously the others.
Yeah, it kept throwing you for a loop. I feel like you never. I was the same way. I was like, I never knew what was gonna happen, or like I would always be like, yeah, I bet it's this. Oh, it's not. Shit.
But I mean, I was like sus as fuck of the other because I was like, why does he have all these supplies and where is he getting these supplies? Like.
I like Piranesi's explanation of that.
He just sucks at survival.
Yeah, he's like, if he didn't get this stuff, if the house didn't give him all this stuff, he'd probably die. Doesn't know how to take care of himself. Dude, another thing I was thinking is I think Piranesi has the knowledge, the lost knowledge or whatever.
Well, yeah, I agree. Because when he was describing what the ancient knowledge was, I was like, oh, Piranesi already has that and he doesn't even know he has it.
Exactly.
But
especially Lawrence's description of it. I feel like it's like skewed, bro.
What do you mean? His description is skewed?
Yeah, I feel like the original knowledge, the actual knowledge, is like what Piranesi has. He you know, he's like just in communing with nature. But then like Lawrence Arnsales is like exaggerated a little bit. He says communing with nature, all this stuff about communing with nature and stuff, but he also says transform into birds and be able to fly. And that's what he says. Flying and also communing with the tides and the birds and shit, which is like, okay, he can't fly, but he can commune. Like, and then the other is like even more. He's like, we can fly, we can read minds, we can transform ourselves, we can dominate the world. Like he's can we talk about
lesser minds?
Yeah,
what is wrong with this man? We can control lesser minds, sir. I honestly thought you just wanted to control Piranesi, because if he really was living there, I mean, I could see, like, why would you just want to? I don't really get it. Like, why would you want to control? Piranesi's like, oh, there are no lesser minds because we're both really smart. And I was like, oh, Piranesi does not think you are smart, buddy. He just thinks you're a fucking idiot. Like,
yeah,
tragic. Honestly, it was so tragic. Like this man is too innocent, too pure for this earth. But like, honestly, how naive he was. Like, someone's gonna hate me, but I was like, this is pure autistic vibes. Like, literally, like, when you just like be trusting anybody, like taking them at their word. Like, I feel like part of his problem was he just believed whatever words that he said rather than like looking at his actions. Yeah. Which I feel like is a really common thing. Like, oh, somebody said this to me and I would never lie, therefore that other person would never lie to me. And it's kind of one of those things. So like how you were talking about, you think it's a metaphor, like I was like, I feel like this is a little bit of metaphor for how you have to learn that not everybody's like that. Like, not everybody's honest. And I feel like Piranesi did learn a little bit, because he was like, well, technically, I didn't talk to 16. I just read the words and he didn't tell me specifically what form, of words that I was supposed to avoid. So technically, I'm not lying. And then he'd be like, well, he asked me if I had seen him, in the future, like if I see him to tell him, but I saw him in the past. So technically, it was like a white lie. You know what I'm saying? It was like a lie by omission and shit. Yeah. And I was like, okay, he's learning a little bit. He's learning a little bit of the tiniest bit of deception, which is, in this man's case, is probably good. But that's honestly as far as he went. He only went to like white lies. Like,
yeah.
So yeah. But anyways, that was another thing that I was thinking. I was like, this is so I hate this so much. I was like, please, like, suspect people more. Like, be more suspicious. Like, you're too sweet. But
Yeah.
Too nice. And even went back to see the guy's family, which, I mean, I guess would be weird. Your family members just had, like, their memory wiped, but yo, what's up?
Wait, what?
At the end, he goes back to see Matthew's family, and they didn't spend a ton of time on it.
Oh, you're saying, yeah, memory wipes. Yeah, okay.
But he's like, they think I'm him because I have the same body.
Yeah.
Basically, but he was not the same. And I thought honestly he would get all of his like memories and stuff back when he left the world. Like for some reason I thought maybe like the world was having like an effect on his memory and he would get it back once he left and it would like all come back to him, but I guess it didn't work like that.
Yeah.
Like he just got kind of irreversibly scarred. or something. Like,
dude,
again,
that's why the fucking abuse metaphor I feel like is so. It's like you're never really gonna heal from that. You're never gonna be the same, bro.
I guess it could kind of be like PTSD, but the thing is also like he didn't think of it as like he liked being in the other world.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a good way to, for me at least, man, to think about like my shitty past. You know, like
Lore. We're getting lore right now.
It's like
your shitty past.
Like, yeah, a lot of dumb shit happened to me and fucked up things that like I have trauma and shit that I'm not like fully recovered from. It will never be the same. I will never be the same as if that didn't happen. But I'm glad it happened,
Should
dude.
we ask what that is?
It's life. Like it's my life. I'm here, and that's part of me. Like it's cool. It's awesome. It's beautiful. It's great.
What are you
it's
referring
awesome,
to when you say that, though?
I mean, just like, I don't know.
They're not going to know what that means. But I mean, you don't have to say it.
Like I said, like religious. Growing up religious, especially for me, I feel like.
Yeah, you didn't really say that. What religion would you say you grew up in?
Christianity, I guess,
Yeah.
and just like super, like borderline cult type things.
Borderline cult.
Yeah, like lots of people would probably say cult. But you know, from the inside, you don't say, "Oh, this isn't a cult. This is just us being holy saints," or you know, shit like that.
Obviously, that's kind of part of a cult.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
When
Looking back at it, I'm like,
legit.
That's kind of culty, you know?
Yeah, and it's funny because as like when I grew up and got older, I feel like my family got more religious and Adam's got less religious. So it's like exact opposite, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That's like completely diverging or whatever. That's just why we're just so perfect for each other. Oh. Yeah, but love how we both have like a crappy like Christian background. There goes. Yeah. A crappy Christian background. Is he saying water me? Like FKA Twig said, why are you deep throating the... You don't need more. You've had enough. I don't even know what we're talking about, bro.
I don't either. I mean, we're just rambling. Should we pause?
Yeah, let's pause. Okay, this is funny. It took me like 2 weeks to finish this book, and Adam finished it in like 2 days. I feel like, but this wasn't because I was listening to it for 2 weeks. Let me clarify. It's because I think I listened to it on day 1, and then I had to finish it on the second day. But yeah, you finished it super fast.
Yeah, and then I wanted to read it again.
And if I hadn't waited, 2 weeks in between finishing it, then I probably would have finished it in a couple of days as well.
Yeah.
Because
you're
going to want to know the answer.
Once you get sucked in, there's no going back. I don't know. What else is there to talk about?
Adam thinks there's nothing else to talk about. Because he wants to eat food. And I want to eat pizza rolls.
I don't know. Any other thoughts?
I mean, I definitely had thoughts, but I wanted to talk last night, and I wasn't allowed to because we had to wait for the camera.
Well, what were you thinking last night?
I don't know. I think I wanted to know, like... I legitimately can't remember. I don't know. I had a bunch of thoughts last night. That's how I'd be coming off of something, though. Like, I'm just like, that's all I want to think about, talk about. And then, like, 3 days later, I could not care less that thing exists. Like, whether it's a book, movie, whatever. If you don't strike when the iron is hot, it's over for you. But it was, like, the middle of the night. So, couldn't really do that. I think it is... I'm not going to say it's a...
Sorry.
Can you?
Sorry.
I'm not going to say I think it's a... I don't think it's a bad metaphor for abuse, but I definitely don't think like the whole thing is an abuse metaphor. Like he is definitely being gaslit by the other, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure.
Or like made to question like his reality and just like kind of treated really crappy and stuff like that. There were definite like moments that I could pick out where I was like, that definitely like correlates, but as far as it overall it being a metaphor, or
no, I don't think so. And I honestly almost think there wasn't really any metaphor in mind when she wrote it. That's kind of what it seems to me. Maybe there was, but to me it kind of seems like it's just a good story.
Yeah,
I don't know, like maybe it was unconsciously a metaphor for something she went through in her life or something. I read that she has like some kind of chronic pain disorder or something like that. Apparently people who had it were saying that the book really spoke to them or something.
Chronic pain?
Something. Yeah, it's a specific, I can't remember, man. There was this like a specific chronic.
I'm kind of curious what it was.
Yeah.
You don't remember?
No, I'm sorry.
No. Wow, he's so uninformed.
Alright, get rid of my phone.
Why did you never have your phone?
We're going to Google.
Going to Google. You can't spell Google without go. I hate that. Why did I become a marketer, right? Right in that moment. I said Control F.
What am I supposed to find?
Chronic. I don't know.
Chronic fatigue syndrome.
Oh. That's when you're just like, they don't really understand a lot about that.
Really?
I mean, they don't really understand a lot of women's chronic pain conditions because they don't research women and pain. I wish I was joking. I'm really not. They don't know a lot about, like PMDD or, conditions that specifically affect women. I'm not saying chronic fatigue only affects women, but I have mostly heard of it being a thing that women have, and it's just kind of a diagnosis they give them when they don't understand why they're always so tired.
You're hurting a lot. Or you're tired a lot.
Yeah, pretty much. We don't
chronic
know why.
Fatigue.
We don't understand chronic fatigue.
You're tired a lot. Chronic fatigue, I mean.
Yep.
You just define the word with the word, basically.
Pretty much,
Define the condition.
Love that for us. No one cur. I don't even know what to say. I don't know. Become salty. Everyone already knows I'm salty. I'm saltier than the sea that was in the house. In Piranesi. Whatever. Sea, ocean, what's the difference? What's the difference? Seriously, is there a difference? Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, there's a difference.
Well, obviously there's a difference between a sea and a tide.
An ocean.
Like there are tides in the sea. Like the Red Sea versus the Pacific Ocean. Is an ocean just... Are you burping?
Sorry.
Is the ocean just bigger?
The sea is cut off from the ocean. It's like a lake.
Cut off.
I think it's like a big ass lake that's salty is what I think.
Why would it be salty if it's cut off?
Because it used to be part of the ocean. I could be completely wrong about that. I ain't no geologist.
That wouldn't even be a geologist. That would be like an oceanographer, right? No.
A seaographer.
The way I want to choke him out right now. I'll be constantly fake choking him out. Okay, this is gonna get real perverted.
Perverted.
Well, why would I be choking you out on camera? Someone's gonna think either A, I'm abusive, B, we're kinky. I don't know which conclusion they're gonna come to. What if I just force choke you? Okay, the fact that I never used to think, bro, Star Wars is kinky as fuck. Why does force choking exist? I'm telling you, people think Star Trek is like, dirty and shit, which, I mean, it is very gay, but Star Wars literally has force choking, hot Sith Lords.
Who is a hot Sith Lord?
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
What's his name? That guy. Kylo Ren. Anakin.
Darth
Obviously, Maul. Anakin. Darth. I'm out. His head would poke you. This is so off top. Darth Maul. Some alternative bitch out there was like, Darth Maul. That shit is... Somebody wants to fuck Darth Maul. That's not even... I don't even have a question about that. The motherfucker's tatted up. He's got horns coming out of his head. He's basically Satan. I know somebody out there wants to fuck Darth Maul. It's not even a question,
Absolutely,
bitch.
dude.
Like, for sure. But then you get, like... I feel like Anakin and Kylo Ren are like, oh my god, like, I'm, like, so sad. And, like, also, like, you could fix me.
I don't even know who Kylo Ren is.
Kylo Ren is he's like the son of Han and Leia, but he's Ben Solo, I think.
Han and Leia had a fucking son?
I don't understand Star Wars, but I believe that it's revealed that he is Ben Solo. Like, he's their kid. But he turns to the dark side before he knows that. I think.
When the fuck did they have a kid?
When they fucked. Which is probably immediately after he got unfrozen from the carbonite. Because, I mean, damn. That was the only reason I was watching Star Wars, because I was like,
She wasn't
Han
pregnant
Solo.
though.
Huh?
She wasn't pregnant. I don't remember that.
I mean, does she have to be? Like, I'm assuming there were years between movies. Why are we talking about this?
Yeah, I don't know.
There were years between movies, right?
I'm just a hater of
When
modern
was-
movies. I feel like that's like rewriting, retconned.
I mean, George Lucas didn't exactly have everything planned out, I don't think.
George Lucas is like the king of retconning shit, bro.
I also saw this meme that was like, Star Wars is ADHD because he wrote, like, everything is out of order. Star Trek is autism because the same thing happens with slight variations every episode. And I was like, that is the realest shit I've ever read. Like, why?
Yeah.
I don't know nobody that likes Star Trek that isn't just a little questionable. And yeah, Star Wars, like, cut. Bro, I find Star Wars so boring. Sorry. I find Star Wars so fucking boring. Like,
Yeah, same.
it puts me to sleepies. You know what I'm saying? And people that like Star Wars will watch Star Trek and be like, oh my god, like, the same thing happened every episode. And I just don't get why people like this. And I'm like, well, I don't get why people like Star Wars.
Baby, all the rooms in the house are the same. And there's no variation. They're all just
Oh my
lacking
god!
life. They all lack life.
When the other was like, there's no life here, and Pureness is just standing there like, do I mean nothing to you?
Well, Piranesi didn't think about himself in that.
Yeah,
instance.
he didn't count
thought
himself.
Of, like, all the birds and fish. And...
Right, he didn't even count himself, because that's just how much of a, wholesome motherfucker that he is.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I was Piranesi and I was standing there, I would just be like, I just look at this motherfucker like, am I not alive? Like, do I not count to you? Like, oh my god, I'll beat the other's ass. He got his comeuppance, okay? He got his reward. Karma got his ass in the end. But all I'm saying is, I would have beat that dude's ass so many times over. So many times I was like, why doesn't Piranesi just stop agreeing to participate in his experiments until he tells him the information that he knows? But he probably would have never told him the information, because why would he tell him, oh yeah, I trapped you here, and like now you're like my Mars rover, and why would he do that? That would have no advantage to him. And also just like the logic that Piranesi was going in on, he was like, well, you said this, but that doesn't make any sense with what you just said. And then he'd like be caught in his motherfucking lies, and I was like, why is this motherfucker always in a suit? And you're in literal rags, Piranesi.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, please get it through your skull. This man is bad. This man's a bad person. Like,
Yeah, and I
get
feel like
it.
that's another thing that's like nice about it, is like, trust yourself, bro, because like he started like looking back at his own journals and reading it and be like, what the fuck, this doesn't match up with what the other is telling me, and,
Yeah.
and then he had to learn to be like, I actually did write this is true. I believe myself, like,
Yeah,
there's a
believe yourself
reason
for
I
sure.
said this.
Because
There's
when
a
people,
reason.
I feel like when people are constantly like questioning you or telling you, you don't remember that, right? You didn't
yeah.
experience that. Then it's like, well, maybe, and then you start questioning. It's like, maybe I didn't. Well,
Yeah.
maybe that's what they meant. Like,
Yeah, you can
it's
start
literally
believing it.
textbook gaslighting, textbook, and that shit is so real, because like, you have to like eventually believe yourself. Otherwise, you're just buying into like the abuser's narrative. I feel like,
Yep.
because yeah, that shit sucks.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. We're so insightful. Look at us. No one's ever done it like us, baby. No one's ever done this book like us. What should we read next?
Your mom.
Seriously, you're the worst. I was asking them peoples
Oh.
if these people exist that would listen to us talk for however many minutes. What should we read together? Because Adam reads now. I don't know if y'all know this. Adam reads now. After years of telling him to read, you know what? It wasn't even me that did it. He just randomly decided one day that audiobooks were his thing, and it wasn't me. It wasn't me at all, which I'm sorry to report. Like, I stopped being able to read because I was burnt out, and then all of a sudden he decides that he can read now, and I was very pissed about that. I was like, all this time, all these years, he doesn't listen to me. Like, okay, I'm not saying like day to day. I'm saying when I tell him he should read, he doesn't listen to me.
It was Tarzan, I think.
Tarzan. Look at this man. Tarzan.
Wanted to read Tarzan. That shit was lit.
Tarzan was so relatable to him that it made him into a reader. It made him into a reader.
Exactly. Yeah. Tarzan.
You
Tarzan.
and Tarzan. You and Tarzan with your cute little man buns. Mm-hmm. Do you guys like man buns? Doesn't matter. He's got one. I've got a. Why don't we call it woman bun?
Oh, woman bun.
It's like man purse. It's like you have to distinctify the fact that it's distinctify. Is that a word?
Distinctify?
You have to distinctify. I don't care if it's a word. It's a word now. But you have to distinctify that it's a man purse. You know what I mean? Like, because it can't just be a purse that a man is wearing. It's a man purse, or it's not just a bun. It's a man bun.
Yeah.
What are some other things that they do that with? What if we did the opposite? It's a woman bun. It's a woman It's a woman back. Like, what is something a man uses?
Sometimes, like
a woman wallet. What about that?
Yeah, or like
woman crush. That's the only one I can think of.
Women's tools or some shit like that, you know, like
the pink, the ones with the pink handles.
They just take something and paint it pink and call it women's.
Big for women.
Yeah.
Because, you know, using pens, it definitely varies between sex/gender. The way I hold my pen is with a dainty, feminine touch of
the way I hold my pen is like this.
He clenches his pen and draws like aggressively. Like, girl crush. I feel like that's one. It's like you want to let people know that you like a woman, but you're not gay. Man crush kind of works the same way though.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm still straight. Because you're aggressively straight, you know.
I'm straight, but I like men.
Would you call yourself aggressively straight?
No.
I would call. Oh, what would you say then? Regular.
Just straight. I don't know.
Regular.
I don't think I'm aggressive
just
about
regular.
it. I don't know how you be aggressive about it.
Okay, Piranesi. Honestly, I thought Piranesi was gonna learn sexuality in this book. He never did. Okay, he never did. I don't know if it just didn't occur to him. We just didn't go there. I kept waiting for his ass to be like,
yeah, you would.
Damn, I really... No, it wasn't like that. I wasn't perving on this man. This man's too pure for, like, literally anything.
You can't read anything.
I was not perving on him.
Where's the sex?
But I was like, Piranesi is he's a pretty boy because he's got all. Remember when he puts all the like little shits in his hair, and I'm like, this man is literally like, oh my god, like. He's like, I gotta put on my decor back. I gotta look my best when I go to the new world.
Yeah.
Ooh woo, like literally Piranesi. Ooh woo. That's all you need to know. Ooh woo. Just the cutest man that's ever existed. Maybe if we could isolate all men in another world with just statues, fish, sea, and, you know, random ass abuser and turn them to Mars rovers, they'd all be a little more agreeable like Piranesi. No, I'm just kidding. That's horrible. That's literally horrible.
I do strive to be like Piranesi, though.
You kind of are like Piranesi. I'm Piranesi. It's definitely like devolved. I don't know what it was from the beginning. Piranesi. Yeah. How many different ways have I said it? I was thinking this while I was reading. I was like, this is kind of like Adam. Because he just like... Would you say you're more chill? Would you say you're more chill than me?
No.
Don't insult me with this answer.
No, not at all. Why would you ever say that?
You guys know I'm very chill. Oh my god, imagine that. You know that fucking guy on that, what's that guy, that show where he pranks everybody? And there's this meme of him walking up and he's like, I'm actually very chill, very cool.
In reality, I'm actually very fun, relaxed, and easygoing.
I just think of that all the time. What's that show where he pranks people? Oh, Nathan.
Oh, Nathan for you.
Yeah, it's that guy, and he's like, I'm actually very chill. I think of that all the time. Where I'm like, you're just seeing me out of context. You're seeing me wrong. I'm actually very chill. So, Brad, you know what I'm talking about?
Sure you are.
I'm so chilly. What?
No, it doesn't tell you how long.
Zoom in on this beautiful man. Oh, look at him. His shirt matches his eyeballs. He's so pretty. Also, you guys want to see something? What do you call this, baby? What do you call this?
I don't remember.
He has like a hole right there. What do you call it? Your caveman brow?
Oh yeah, it's my caveman brow.
Let him see.
My
Let
brow.
him see from the side. Well, okay, too far. Can you guys see his head?
Is it?
Go for it. Can you? I don't know if you can tell. Okay, you kind of see it there. Adam's got that. What do you call it? Is it Neanderthals, or is this the other thing?
Neanderthal, yeah. I guess.
Neanderthal, and Adam's got that Neanderthal skull.
I couldn't make fire without this caveman skull.
But yeah, anyways, and he's got a widow's peak. So talk about a deadly, lethal combination. Am I right, ladies? I love him.
Roasted.
But his head do
Jesus.
be pointy. I call him a bobble because his head's so big compared to his body.
Okay,
This is
this
so-
is getting ridiculous. We should probably just turn this off.
The only reason he's saying that is because I'm embarrassed him.
Next time on She Wants the Diction.
We have to get a thumbnail, baby. What's our thumbnail gonna be? Can we guess?
We don't have the book to hold up.
Just Photoshop it. Just Photoshop it right there, like the little. No, I think we should kiss. That's way more sweeter.
Oh yeah.
Your typicals be like, very nice to meet you, sir. No, they'd be like, what do they be like? Oh, no, that's not how they be like. That's not how they be like. I hate handshakes. That's not how they be like. Oh, my knuckles. Ow! Fine, that'll be our thumbnail when we're both holding up the thing. Okay, I think we've done enough. I don't know how much damage we've done.